do it.
Okay. In 3, 2, 1. From the studios in Canada. Okay. Whoever
Our home
wants to start.
studios. Let's just start like that. I think that's the best way to start. It's a casual podcast. Let's keep it casual. We don't need to start.
Yeah.
We're already here.
We are already here, and as the title of the podcast says, we are figuring it out. Did I say that correctly?
You did say it.
Nice and slow.
It didn't sound like the other thing.
Figuring it out.
Yeah, figuring it out.
The one that we, when we find out the name, basically you found out, and I tried to pronounce it for the first time. And what do you say? Should we introduce ourselves to the audience and also to the people who are watching this on the YouTube channel?
Absolutely. Emilio, you're already chatting, so go first.
Hey, everybody. I'm Emilio Takas, and I'm a filmmaker, editor, photographer, but generally a multifaceted creative professional that I'm coming from long way, Athens, Greece. And I run a self-titled YouTube channel that I teach things in Final Cut Pro, and also randomly I review gear and tech, more specifically to the video and photo parts of sites. Nice to be here, and I'm gonna try to figure it out.
All right, Chris, why don't you go?
My name is Chris, and I don't really know what to call myself anymore. I think I make videos and I put them on the internet, and I teach people how to make videos like those videos, and I teach people about the gear that I use and how to use it, and talk about the things that I like, the things that I don't like. I try and keep it real. And I'm a freelancer as well. I make wedding films. I work with brands and shoot commercial stuff. YouTube channel is self-titled, and I know you guys because of YouTube. So, hello. Nice to be here.
Yeah, it's kind of cool how all of us kind of just met on the internet, and now we're like friends and we're starting like a podcast together. But yeah, my name is Tausif Hussain. Also, YouTube channel is self-titled. My background is actually in finance, so I did like my whole chartered accountancy and everything like that. Went pretty deep into finance, but kind of realized like my passion was about creating content and just being unfiltered and just having the ability to kind of put my thoughts on video and be able to show other people was what I really love doing. So I started a YouTube channel and I make videos about tech, filmmaking, lifestyle, just mix of stuff. So that's pretty much where I'm at.
Nice. Yeah. That's us. That's all three of us. And we're here to do a podcast and figure it out.
First of all, to introduce ourselves to the audience as well. We're YouTubers. We're content creators. So basically on this podcast, we're going to discuss a lot of content creators related stuff, right? And of course, gear on what we used to shoot, how we shoot it, maybe techniques, the side effects of being a YouTuber or a content creator, how we organize our days, or for people who do also a day job, or they want to quit their day job and continue to go full-time YouTube. And what do you say? Different ideas that we could say, for example, on this podcast.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think that pretty much the whole idea was that we wanted to actually start and put together something, but we weren't really sure what we're going to do, and that's the name of the podcast. And I guess as we kind of just go along, we're going to be introducing like different topics. The whole theme of this is going to be kind of laid back, relaxed, so nothing too serious. So that's the goal, and I think maybe we can start off by just talking about how we eventually actually got to this point where we are right now. And I think it all started with Clubhouse. So I just to get your thoughts, guys, what do you think went wrong with the whole Clubhouse thing we were doing? Because we initially tried to start something like this on Clubhouse. We did it for like, I think 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And then after that, we were just like, nope, this is not going to work. And then now we're here. So I don't know. Chris, you want to start us off?
I have a few thoughts in terms of what started to annoy me about Clubhouse. And it's probably going to be the same for you guys, and I've seen other people mention it as well. Notifications. If you had notifications turned on for Clubhouse, my goodness. Like, I would say 2 or 3 an hour about anyone that you follow is now in a room with this person, and there was no way to really turn that off. So for me, it got to a point where it's like, okay, well, I don't want to see this anymore. So I just turned off the notifications, and that just disconnected me from even thinking about Clubhouse whatsoever. Like before, it'd be like, oh, Daniel Schiffer's joined this room. Like, oh, I want to hear that. I'll jump in. But now I'm not getting any
Yeah.
notifications, so I'm not
And
joining
he
any
was joining
rooms.
some Japanese rooms, right?
Was
I
he?
remember, I remember one night I saw Daniel Schiffer join that room and it was full of Japanese people that they were talking about, and I was like, "Whoa, he knows Japanese as well." Like,
Does he?
yeah, but I can't hear anything else. Like, I can't understand anything. Clubhouse, as it started as a very good medium where you can connect with other creators, you can connect with other people who share the same interests with you, and of course, meet new connections and hang out with people with the same interests. However, I think that very quickly it started to become a medium that it's okay, but there are plenty of good conversations that you won't have the opportunity to listen again to them
Yeah.
because they're not recorded. So if you're not on the right at the right time, on the right room, you're gonna lose everything. And also, I believe it had a very huge hype when it's initially, was introduced to the people. But maybe all these masters of the fields, you know, I believe these kind of masters get the turn the clubhouse to a little bit of how to get rich. For example, me, I don't know about you guys, but in these 2 weeks, I'm a trillionaire. I know everything about stocks. I know about YouTube and how to gain 2 million subscribers in 2 days. Don't get impressed why I didn't. I don't want to. I don't want, but I know the process, how to do that. And, it turned a little bit to more of a lead generator, in my
Yeah.
opinion, than hang with your friends. So
Yeah.
I believe the whole idea that we started this as let's talk about how was our week. And we said, okay, should we do that, a podcast? And on podcast, the thing is that it's going to be forever recorded. For the people who want to see our faces, okay, we're going to have
Yeah.
a YouTube channel as well. And also, we're going to have the opportunity as we are figuring it out. My
Mhm.
God. Okay, I'm going to get better to that. To have other people as guests, people who are master on their fields, but, with examples of what they do and
Yeah.
feature them that we all know. And I hope that we're going to have the opportunity to feature them on this podcast as well. What do you guys think? What do you guys think?
Yeah, of course. I think that's definitely something that we want to do, and I think one of the ideas that I pitched to you guys earlier as well was maybe we could bring in like a guest that one of us only knows which guest we're bringing in, and then the other guys don't really know who we're bringing in, and then kind of be like a surprise where the other people can try to guess, and then that way it's also a lot more on the fly rather than rehearsed or anything like that. But yeah, like I mean, quickly going back to the Clubhouse thing, I think you hit it on the point. I noticed that like initially it was really good. Like, don't get me wrong, like the tool for networking and everything like that, it was really good. Like I got in touch with people that, I didn't really think I would have been able to get in touch with. But initially when Clubhouse first came out, it was so exclusive. There were invites only. So I was in rooms with like huge people that, had huge followings, but there were only like 5 people in there or like 10 people in there. So the networking aspect was really good. But like you said, Emilio, it got to a point where it turned out like every room I was in, everyone was like an expert on something and everyone was just trying to teach something. And it became a lot more kind of like just go in to learn something. And then even if it was a platform, and I think that's where we kind of started, was we just wanted to go talk about certain topics. But what I find is like the certain topic starts and then it just gets derailed because all these people the purpose of Clubhouse is to give everybody a chance to come on stage and talk and everything, and the topics just go all over the place. And so if you want to like tune into a podcast to listen about certain something, like FPV drones for example, then you may only get like 2 seconds of that, and then somebody else is going to have another question and it'll go somewhere else. But yeah, I think you guys pretty much nailed it.
I think it was a great idea. I think it needs to be done a little bit differently somehow. Like ultimately, like the idea there is amazing. It's just there needs to be a better way to manage the rooms that you're in, and I'd love to get back on it, but I think they need to change some things first. And I don't know whether
Yeah.
that's going to be the death of the app now or not. I don't know. What do you guys think? You think that's it? It's done now, or you think because none of us use it now, really, right?
I think it has future. I'm using it, to be honest, for 5 minutes per day.
Yeah,
Like
Same.
I remember, I was using it for 2 hours straight,
hours. Yeah.
and I was from the kind of people who said I'm gonna get the AirPods Pro so I can
Hmm.
listen to Clubhouse and have conversations more often. But one thing that it was very frustrating was you were in a room and you were listening to a conversation, and you might want to join the conversation in very specific minutes, right? Minutes, if not seconds, to just add your opinion or your value. And I couldn't understand some moderators in the rooms that they were saying, if you want to have something to say on the room, raise your hands, and you're gonna come join and talk, right? And as soon as you're fishing, thank you so much for having this opinion, and see you later, bye bye. So if you had, because you could be you could join as not only a listener but as a speaker, but you would like to speak after an hour or after 45 minutes, it doesn't mean. And of course, the extreme opposite of that, people that they were joining rooms and they weren't stop talking. Like, can I
Hmm.
say something? Okay. For example, Tausif, is it okay the Sony MX or the AirPods Max? Tell me.
Yeah.
Do you think
Yeah.
if they had added a chat, it would have made it very different? Like I kind of feel like
Oh
a
100%.
yeah.
little chat would have been
Yeah.
like a little chat box would have been great. Maybe you
100%.
you get you raise your hand and now you can come up into an area where you can now chat. Like that, I think that might have really changed the dynamic of it. Just that little touch, but
Oh, for sure. And I think it's still a pretty good tool, but use it in supplement to something else. So, for example, like I think Patrick Tomaso, he brought up like, what if you released like a YouTube video and then held like a Clubhouse right after to talk about that video or whatever
Or a
you
live
did
stream.
to film
Or a
that?
live
Yeah,
mm,
stream.
yeah. Or like even this podcast, right? You post podcast like discussion or something. I think that would be kind of cool.
To be
I
honest, I
agree.
think
Yeah.
Twitter Spaces is gonna be, if they work it correctly, because on Twitter you have the other elements of Twitter, is gonna be a better, a
Mm.
better, bigger thing, if I can say, from Clubhouse. But of course, future is gonna show everything.
Yeah, we'll see. We don't really know at this point.
So
Yeah.
how do you do with your channels? What do you see about the audiences, the metrics, and basically the content that you create? How do you see the whole picture for 2021? We are already in March, right?
Hmm. Go on to see if you go first. I know you got
No,
lots to say.
no. I was just laughing about it because I was just messaging you guys about this yesterday. I mean, I don't know. Like for my channel, like dude, my channel was taking off. Like initially, like and at least for the level that I was at, for me that like I was seeing some good growth, and then suddenly I got like creator on the rise from YouTube. So they put me on like the trending page or something like that, but it was only the trending page for YouTube Canada, right? And I was confused because I didn't really see any growth coming out of it. Like literally my growth had gone down. So like I was increasing by like 150 to like 200 subs a day, and then when I got creator on the rise that week, it was like 50 subs, and then ever since after that it's like gone down, right? And I was confused because everybody that I saw that got creator on the rise in like US, they had like crazy spikes in like their sub count and viewership and everything like that. So I feel YouTube actually destroyed my growth. I don't know how, I don't know what happened, but yeah, it was weird. And Patrick went through something similar as well that he mentioned.
You know what? I actually went through exactly the same thing when I got creator on the rise. Not last summer, the summer before.
I'm
I
the only
didn't.
one who didn't get created on the rise.
It's
Please
good.
continue.
It's
It,
good, Emilio.
oh
You
wow.
don't want it.
I didn't see any growth at all, like nothing at all. I
Mhm.
didn't even realize I was creator on the rise till the day after, and it had already
Yeah.
come and gone. But yeah, I didn't see anything either. But again, it was because for the same reason as you. I think it was just because it was Canada based, and like
Canada.
70% of my audience is from the States. I think it goes
Hmm.
like the States,
Imagine,
UK,
to
Germany,
become,
Canada.
a creator on the rise in Greece. The funny thing is that one of the things that I wish YouTube was easier for us is me personally, as a person, as a guy, as a personality, I like to experiment to new things. Like, I like something, I want to try it. If I'm good, I'm staying at it. If I see that and I'm not good and I don't like it, I'm not staying at it. And I started this YouTube channel with tutorials because I knew from the beginning that I want to have gear, but I didn't have the opportunity to get gear to review, right? So I said, I'm going to start building a brand. I'm going to start building the brand by giving away to the people the knowledge that I have on the program that I love. So I started creating tutorials in Final Cut Pro. And I said, eventually, when I will get subscribers, when the channel is going to be bigger, I'm going to have gear as well to review. So, and brands reaching out to me and have the opportunity to have the brands, and things
Yeah.
are going to be easier in the future. What I didn't realize is that you create a different niche inside your channel. So, your channel is very difficult to grow at the same time with a different niche.
Mm,
It's true. I don't think
yeah.
people really understand when you start a YouTube channel that you're going to put yourself into a niche. Like it's something that
Yep.
really YouTube needs to make a little bit more clear when you start a channel. It's like, what's your channel going to be about, and are you going to stick with it? Those should be like boxes you tick, so people kind of know. Because it really does. If you want to change, it's tough. Like as we're all kind of figuring out now.
Like as I was talking with you guys earlier, I have videos that they're skyrocketing. For example, I posted a video one and a half week ago that got 13,000 views, and I spent hours, endless hours, to create a gear review that it's taking like 600, 700, or 1,000 views, and I'm like, okay, eventually people are gonna find out about this video, eventually. So this is something that keeps me going and saying, at the end of the day, to be honest, I'm okay with the video that I create because at the end of the day, this is a part of your portfolio. Like if you say I'm a YouTuber and create videos and I create gear reviews as well, I can show this video even if it has 300 views, right? But Tausif is stuck.
He's frozen.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's
Am I frozen?
pause.
Can you guys still hear me or no?
We can hear you, but
We can hear
you're
you,
not moving.
but you're
Yeah.
frozen when your eyes not
What
moving.
do I do? Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can
Okay,
unplug this.
stand up with your two fingers in the air. Put your left free. Okay,
Back?
no,
Oh,
back.
now he's
Yeah,
gone.
Okay.
back to reality.
There
What?
he is.
No, there.
You can see? Okay, perfect.
And we're back.
The good thing with that, I believe, is that you're gonna have locally recorded the video. So I believe at the end of the podcast, we're gonna have the actual video that we're gonna work for the YouTube session.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And for the audience, we're figuring it out. Okay, it's the first episode. This is the introduction of what you're gonna listen from us in the future. We
Yeah.
have a lot of the goodwill to start something good, and of course, if you like what you hear and what you are gonna hear in the future, I don't know if you know exactly what you're gonna listen to the future. You can follow us on the platform that you're gonna listen this podcast, and of course on the YouTube channel to. Okay, I'm gonna leave Chris to say that because he's better than me on that. Okay, Chris, you're up.
To say subscribe, like do that.
Yes, yes.
Oh, I don't even say that. I stopped saying that. I hate it. I don't even say that on my
That's
channel.
why I told you.
I know. That's funny.
But
Smash
yeah,
that
you
like
know what
button
to do.
down below. Click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Who else says that? Someone says that exact phrase. Is that Peter? I
Peter,
think
Peter.
he says that exact
Probably.
thing.
Yeah.
He's doing the two-hit combo.
Yeah.
I stopped
And
saying
then
that a while ago because I just didn't like. I didn't like the force of like forcing people to click the subscribe button just for the sake of doing it. I
I
kind of like
even
the organic.
I even stopped the intros on the video. We don't need to have intros. What's the
Mm-hmm.
point?
yeah. Like
I
it helps for certain genres. Like it depends on the genre that you're trying to do. I think like if you're trying to do like an actual like almost like a TV show or a news segment or like a game show or something like that, then of course having something like that helps. But for most of us who are like, just quick, videos about gear, tech, products or whatnot, I don't know if we need intros, but yeah,
They want the
I
content
digress.
just like straight away.
Yeah. Yeah.
First second, you're getting your content.
Don't buy this or buy this.
Don't buy
Thank
this.
you.
Yeah.
Buy. It costs this amount of money. See ya.
Yeah.
Actually, I've been doing that, and I find it works. You put the hook at the beginning, like find the most clickbaity bit of the video, like
Yeah.
3 seconds or whatever. Put it at the beginning, and then just cut it, and then people want to continue watching.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah,
That's a Mr. Beast idea or
Mr.
Logan
Yeah,
Paul,
It
right?
is.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
What's the name of the editor of
Hayden
Logan
Hayden.
Hillier
Paul?
Smith.
Exactly.
That's the conference I'm actually about to go to in 10 minutes.
Oh
No,
I
yeah,
like the
you're not gonna
online
be
thing.
there in 10
Yeah.
minutes. It's
I
in
saw
25.
that. I
Sorry.
saw that actually. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
What
I
is
went
that
to the
conference?
last one. Basically, the last one I went to, he was just kind of just breaking down like his thought process and editing and everything like that, and how that he actually goes through an edit. And I love his editing style. Like I think he does a fantastic job. So I was actually really curious. So this time around, when he did a second one, I was like, okay, you know what? I'll log in and I'll see. He's kind of just walks through his thought process and things that like the decisions he makes, and it's amazing like how much detail he goes into with like every second is like curated.
Hmm.
Like, can I hold a person's attention for these next 2 seconds with whatever I'm going to put in here? If not, it's out. Like I look at it things like chunks of like 1 minute. Okay, was that 1 minute like worth
Yeah.
it? Like he's looking at it like micro, like so I just found that very fascinating, and that's just something that interests me. So I thought, you know what, I'll jump in for the next one. But yeah, I think it's there's a lot to be said with that, like especially Chris. I think that's one of the reasons why I think the style that you mentioned works so well, is because it hooks people, and you're kind of just valuing people's time, right? Like rather than having like a really blown long out like long intro and like kind of just holding people, trying to hold people's attention till the very end, where you tell them, okay, this is worth it or not. You're giving people value right away, and then people can decide whether they want to stay with you longer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I love the way he was talking about in that podcast as well. Like how he does the pacing, and it's like he'll do like lots of 1 second cuts, and then when he needs you to focus on something, it'll be like a 2 second cut, and subliminally you're picking up that that's important. He has a lot of tips. Like Emilio, if you haven't listened to that podcast, you should 100% listen to it.
His podcast, his personal podcast.
No,
No, he was on
the
Polar Pro.
Polar Pro with Dave
Yeah, yeah,
Mays.
yeah. I've listened. I've listened.
Yeah.
Listen, for me, I was always trying to figure out, and I don't want if I am gonna sound like we say the lawyer of the devil, but I was trying to find out what people like to see on the internet. And when I was looking to creators like Mr. Beast or Logan Paul, they're the big deal, right, on YouTube. But then I like to see also the age of the audience.
Hmm.
So I'm watching what is the average age of the people who are watching them. And then it comes the question, what are you, for example? What are we? Because I know, Chris, I don't know, Tausif, I believe you as well. We're millennials, right?
Hmm.
So we're boomers,
Hmm.
right? Yeah, and the style of being on a millennial age and being able to create content for the newer generations, to have all these speed and fast edits, and how you can hook the audience and stay on the video and watch the whole video. It's very good to see that on video editing, but in my opinion, is also something that always is gonna count for YouTube or TV or any sort of video, which is the personality and the story.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Sorry for the people that I'm talking a little bit slow, but English is not my native language, so a lot of time I'm translating things in my
Plus, you've got
head.
your
On
radio voice going on too.
yes, but it's the thing that there is the personality and who is behind the video that you're talking, and what is the story. Now, this specific editor on creating stories, he's creating masterpieces on how he can get some footages and create stories from them, right?
Hmm.
And this is something that I believe all of us who create content on YouTube, we should place our eyes onto that. How he creates stories out of how we can make, for example, a tutorial a story. Jesse Driftwood does that.
Hmm.
Peter McKinnon is one of the creators that you want to see his videos, whatever he posts, because You see his personality, his character, and he made a persona basically. He's a character in a
Hmm.
movie, and he makes videos that you want to see, and he can make a story out of his new office. He can make a story why he got out. So this is something that amaze me and I want to dig deeper into it. So we can go aside the specific keys and what you can do with color grading or transitions or video editing or keyframing on how to edit that. Okay, we're not healers and good, but we're good at that. How we can transform all of that process to create better stories, and how we can make a whole video. For example, I remember I wanted to create something cinematic, and then I realized that my frame sucks. So I said, my lighting sucks. So if I don't fix the lighting, if I don't learn, so I started studying on lighting, how I can work with light to get an image that it's gonna look like cinema. Because if you don't have lighting, if you don't have framing, you can create something that is going to be attractive for the viewer.
Hmm.
Correct me if I'm wrong, or if it's only our age that we see that, or we are these weirdos that we see Netflix or, you know, other movies, and we say, okay, let's see, okay, this is a 35 mil. Uh-huh, this is the light, and we have the particle, and
But do you sometimes think that that gets in the way though? Like, I find the more you start thinking about lighting and trying to get a shot just perfect, it really stops you from actually creating the
Yeah.
whole video that you set out to do. And at least for myself, like the amount of time I spent to get my angle looking good for the backdrop back there, like it's instead of just sitting down and filming something and not caring about it, I find sometimes it really impedes our ability to make the videos. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you guys are onto something there. I think, like Emilio said, for me at least, the biggest reason I watch somebody is because of personality. Like, I don't care how good the backdrop is or how, like, amazing their lighting or cinematics or anything like that. Or sure, it does help, and I think that that era of like having like really good cinematic visuals and everything like that, I feel like we're kind of past that now. Like initially that was
Hmm.
huge, and there, like, I was subscribing to a lot of people that had that sort of like differentiating factor. But I think now everybody has like somewhat like a decent setup. Everybody has decent cinematics. Everybody's shooting with like $5,000 like Sony A7S III cameras. So it's like everybody has like that wow factor, right? And it goes back to the basics of why people choose to watch certain people over others. And for me, at least, that's personality. And that's the reason why, for example, even till this day, anytime Potato Jet puts out a video, I will watch Potato Jet's video,
Same.
even if I'm not interested in what he has to show. It's just his personality is so fun, and it's like it's just very entertaining to watch.
I agree with that
also,
hugely.
should I
Yeah.
say for another creator that, I would love to feature him here on the podcast. I don't know if we ever have the opportunity to bring him here. Josio, like
Oh
he came out
yes,
of nowhere for us, right?
Hmm.
And he's
yeah,
creating some videos that we're saying this is all the different aspects of creating a film. He's doing them by himself, right? He even
yeah.
created a different character, with the AI, stuff that he was creating different script for that.
You've seen
Like,
why he does his YouTube channel now though. He posted it somewhere recently. Did you see that? About
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, that he
yeah,
was trying to be an actor. But
yeah.
Yeah.
I would like for the people who haven't listened to just your story, to, if we have the chance to feature him here or the podcast,
Hmm.
because it would
Mhm.
be a great opportunity to for the people to listen. And also for the people who are listening right now, we have a lot of connections and friends, so that we're gonna try and bring here, and a lot of creators that they also love on YouTube, or they would like to ask them questions. And we're gonna try to be as much as interactive as we can, also with social media, if they have any questions or if they want to have, but of course after we figure it out, because third time is the charm.
There you go.
I think every episode we should try and see how many times we can squeeze it in.
The figure it
Figure
Just
out,
it
a
huh?
out. Yeah.
subliminal, put it in people's minds.
They're gonna be, stop, I don't want to
It's
listen
it's
to
like when
that
there's a
anymore.
movie and they say the title of the movie in the movie. I'm like, I hate this movie now. You know what I mean?
like creep from Radiohead,
Yeah.
right?
Guys,
Oasis, Wonderwall.
I gotta
Yes.
get going.
Yeah, that's all
Okay.
good. Let's
Yeah.
we can wrap it up.
This is the introduction. This is the episode, so we can be up, create
Yeah.
the artwork, have the description. Everyone, you're gonna see our details on the description of this podcast and on the YouTube video. We don't know how we're gonna move on the future as for live streaming, or we might do a podcast with live streaming so we can have questions when we be bigger. We will figure it out for sure in the future. And for me, have a wonderful day from wherever you listen to us. I know I don't want it to be a cliche, but I must say to everyone, stay safe and be as much careful with yourself, first of all, and with your community, you know, whatever that means, because we're still in this kind of era. And
Yeah.
bye bye from me and
Bye
Chris.
bye. Bye bye from me too. I don't need to say anything more. Like, you nailed it
There you go.
perfectly.
You nailed it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's wrap it up, and we'll see everyone next week, right?
I hope so.
I hope so.
Okay.
All right, guys. It's been a pleasure chatting.
Bye,
Talk to you
everybody.
guys soon. Take care.
See ya.
Bye.